There were so many signs that I was burning out, but I didn't realize it. I was going into work these crazy hours. I went in to kiss my daughter goodbye, and I looked at her hair, and it was a hot mess. I'm like, is this my daughter? This cannot be my daughter. I'm trying to think through it, like, when did I do her hair last? And I'm like, wait, why are all my time milestones marked by work? And I thought about it, like, I'm failing at both. I'm failing at, like, truly showing up at work and truly showing up at home. So something had to give.
Tell your story, tell it loud. Tell your story, let it out. What broke in you can break the chain. What healed your heart can heal the world again. I saw the room grow still when I said,
Oh, yeah. Oh, this thing's rolling, huh? Yeah, all right. Man, this feels so official. I feel, thank you.
Of course.
Oh, wow.
Enjoy.
Oh, man. Okay, just a little sip. Okay. It was amazing. Okay, this is gonna be tough. Okay. My lips are okay? No foam on it? Okay, okay. Just go, right? Okay. I'm Sophia, and my story worth sipping is I be Burnout, and now I host workshops to help women build a language around burning out and what burnout looks like. Because let me tell you, like, I thought I just wasn't happy. I thought, man, work just isn't fun anymore. But I didn't know what to do. I knew that I could get a new job. I knew I could quit. But is that really the solution? And that's when I realized it's really the system. And you know what happened? I actually, I was going into work these crazy hours, and I had to leave before the sun came up and before the sun set, right? So I went in to kiss my daughter goodbye, and I looked at her hair, and it was a hot mess. I'm like, who is this? Is this my daughter? This cannot be my daughter. Because typically I would do her hair every 2 to 3 days. And I'm trying to think through it, like, when did I do her hair last? Okay, last week was closed. I know I came home for that. I had that meeting on the 20th. And I'm like, wait, why are all my time milestones marked by work? And I thought about it, like, I'm failing at both. I'm failing at like truly showing up at work and truly showing up at home. So something had to give. And I enjoyed my job, but I didn't know what to do about it. So that's when I discovered tiny habits, just small ways that I re-energize myself, because I knew day two, I had my dream job, and I knew day two of this dream job that it was a disaster, that there's no way I could juggle both home and work. So I started tracking my energy, and I started saying, okay, before this meeting with Bill, I need to, instead of running back to my office or to my desk, I need to go take a walk to not only process things, but to soak in some of the sun, because by the time I got home, the sun was gone, and I was sad, and I had all this work to do. So building tiny habits like that to help me re-energize along the day, along the week, that is what helped me keep my job and keep burnout at bay and be present at home. And now I help women like truly build an awareness. Like, what does it seem like? What does it feel like? Like, let's actually hold up a mirror and look at our patterns and figure out like what's working and what isn't working, so that way we can solve it proactively. We build a map, 90 days. What can we do to get out of it? And it's all doable. But that's the thing, just creating the space and having the space to talk through it and finding a way. Because don't get me wrong, I had a support system. I had a husband, a best friend, I had a work bestie, but they all told me, just quit your job. And I'm like, that's not the solution. But by creating a space and working with other people and talking through it and holding up that mirror, I could identify the patterns. And I could step outside of the emotion to come up with ways, practical solutions that I could re-energize myself to move forward.
How did you know you were burnt out?
When I saw my daughter's hair.
What were there signs before that?
Yes, there were so many signs that I was burning out, but I didn't realize it. Like when I would complete a project, I would have tight shoulders. I had complete emotional flatness. Oh yeah, we just beat our quarter. We had the best numbers ever. And I'm just like, okay, what's next? You know, hey, let's go to the work happy hour. Can't, I gotta work some more. So the fact that nothing really gave me joy, there was like no happiness along the way, That was one sign. Those tight shoulders was a second sign. And I would say, honestly, like, not even recognizing myself. Like, I was always at the bottom of the to-do list, and that's what we do as mothers, right? But that's just unsustainable. So that's how I realized that my body was sending me signals that I was burned out. But it wasn't until I saw my daughter's hair that I was like, oh no, this isn't working. Something's got to give. So I ended up, so day 2 of that job, I knew it was a mistake. I was like, I got to get out of here. But my husband was so supportive. You can do it. You're great. I was like, oh my goodness, I have to keep this job. I can't quit. So I stayed for exactly a year. And then I started having conversations with leadership, like, hey, what else could I do? They were like, take a sabbatical. But let me tell you, I was so burnt, like on both sides, like a piece of toast burnt on both sides. When they gave me the paperwork for the sabbatical, I was like livid. I was like, you want me to write my name? My name? You know my name. My address? You know my address. Like, Sophia, just take a beat. And then I never came back to the paperwork. So I took a quiet step away from work. None of my coworkers really knew, and they started pinging me like, hey, we got this meeting with Bill. What are your thoughts? And that's when I started giving them my honest opinion. Do this, but don't forget to, take care of yourself. Hey, how are you building your energy? What is your energy source? And then that turned into mentoring 2 or 3 people, which turned into coaching 5 people. And then I realized that workshops was kind of like the jam, because that's when people really get honest about what's going on. When you're a one-on-one, at least from what I found, sometimes it's an issue, but you don't have the guts or the courage to do anything about it. But when you're sitting in a workshop with other people and you hear how ridiculous they sound, they're saying, I can't do this. It's impossible. Take a walk? No. Hydrate during the day? No. You think to yourself, okay, I can do it. So that's how I ended up with where I am now with hosting the workshops. What I love most about hosting those workshops is the aha moments. There's so many small ways that you can energize yourself. So often, almost everyone who comes to the workshop is like a type A person, like go, 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 give me more, give me more. And we always put ourselves at the bottom of the list. And often there's these aha moments like, wow, instead of rushing to the next back-to-back meeting, I could be the person to raise my hand and say, let's actually pause for a bio break, right? So just having those ahas. And it's so funny, there was this one woman, she said that I didn't even realize that I was so reactive all the time. I was being firm and direct. She was like, instead, I realized that I was being impatient. I was being rude. I was being curt, like not in the best way. People stayed away from me because they knew that that's what they were going to get. And she was like, now that I actually take breaks throughout the day and weave that into my day, I plan a strategy day. So for instance, instead of having like one-on-one sessions with everyone on her team, hey, open door policy, come in whenever you want. She hosts it 1 time a month. So that way she still has the open door policy, but she's able to get her work done instead of always being in go mode, reactive, and then she can never do her stuff. So I think that makes me smile to see that people are learning these things in real time and making the changes. So that's my story. Let's sip to it.